When it comes to horror, few would disagree that video game developers have made a gigantic leap in mastering this genre. Among those, Supermassive Games is quickly proving that they have a knack for high-budget adventure projects that many studios simply do not. With the 2015 underrated hit Until Dawn and its subsequent spin-offs, the company left fans craving for a new property to fulfill their need for screamers, creepy atmosphere, compelling characters, and decent dark storytelling. The project came to fruition at the first part in the newly established Dark Pictures anthology series, consisting of 8 entries. Man of Medan is a survival horror video game played from a third-person perspective in which single players or multiplayers assume control of 5 different characters that become trapped on board of a ghost ship. The plot draws inspiration from the urban legend of the SS Uran Medan, a ghost ship that had allegedly become a shipwreck in Dutch East Indies waters in the late 40s. Its entire crew was found deceased under suspicious and mysterious circumstances, with their faces twisted into horrified expressions which seemed to indicate that they were terrified and had suffered before passing, despite having no visible signs of injury on their bodies and the ship being seemingly unscathed. Players are required to make decisions based on their character's head or their heart, or can choose for them to do nothing, while selecting between different options when interacting with other characters. The selection of options are stylized as a compass, which is both representative of the character's moral compass and reflective of the game's nautical themes. The narrative changes and adapts to the choices that the players make, thus making it possible for players to keep all playable characters alive or to have some or all of them die. The character's own feelings also matter, as your choices also affect the character's personality traits. If 2 characters like each other, they may team up or save each other in desperate situations. The people who hate each other may not work together during crucial scenes, or those scenes may not happen at all. Action sequences, being in line with the game's spiritual predecessor, mainly feature quick-time events, most of which, if missed, can lead to dire consequences for the characters. Actively choosing to kill someone for the sake of another character and having to watch what happens next is the sort of dread that makes those choice-driven games so effective. As players explore the ghost ship, they can find different dark pictures that give them premonitions of what may happen in the future. Players can also uncover the mysteries surrounding the tragedy that occurred on the ship in the past, as well as get a glimpse of the next part of Supermassive's anthology series. The atmosphere is consistently creepy, and even though not much is happening, Supermassive tries to keep players on their toes with jump scares, such as steam pipe bursting loudly or a rat jumping out of the box. The scares are done well, and the visuals that accompany them are excellent, both in terms of detail and the cinematography that frames them. Yes, Man of Medan is undoubtedly a graphical stunner, supported by a unnerving voyeuristic camera angle. It's a shame that so much of the game takes place on a rusty pitch-black tug, because when the lights are on, it looks fantastic. Realistic animations with syrupy controls mimic the vulnerable, clumsy nature of each character, though it's all occasionally compromised by questionable facial tics. The game is brimming with chapters ending with a creepy curator discussing what happened, and known actors like Sean Ashmore delivering great performances. Replay value is very much the game's strength, which is why it could do with a fast-forward option like visual novels typically have. Without such a thing, the big obstacle to experimental replays is the trudging through the dark and largely uninteresting corridors, rereading memos and secret items because some of them may affect the plot. Supermassive is also making a big deal about the game's multiplayer aspect, which allows folks to play full player co-op. It's kind of groundbreaking, given that most adventure titles force some sort of though to each viewer's scheme that completely dissipates when any given game goes cold. Yet, most of my time was spent with the lovely movie night mode, where you can pass and play with up to 5 people who control individual characters, with the incentive to either save yourself or the group. I think that it's going to be a big draw, especially when the online mode is off the table years down the line. The breather pace, roughly 5 hours as opposed to the twice as long scope of Until Dawn, also helps sell it as a rainy day activity. It's a fascinating way to experience a story together, where you can steer relationships and the action based on what you've observed and what you've shared, articulated by extremely punishing quick-time events. And yeah, punishment is good in a Shockley B movie, but sometimes those quick-time prompts are downright unfair. Overall, this is more than a worthy way to spend a weekend, especially if you're playing with friends. But just make peace with the fact that you may find it harder than expected to keep everyone alive. And this rounds up our review of the Dark Pictures' Man of Medan. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel in order to stay tuned for some new giveaways. All the best to you guys.